Good morning, dear children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Dear children, we will be discussing about chapter climate. In the last class, we have discussed about what is the difference between weather and climate. Then we discussed what are the factors, type of Indian climate, right? Monsoon type of climate we have in India. Then next we discuss the climatic condition. Then last we discussed about what are the factors affecting climate of a place in general, not about India, in general, right? We started this portion. Do you remember? Because only once in a week we have geography period. What is the difference between weather and climate? Aditya, what is the difference between weather and climate?
Weather is it changes.
Weather keeps
It
changes every
keeps
day.
changes every day, and climate is it's the conditions that are for a long period of time in a region.
What is the difference between weather and climate?
Ma'am, weather climate refers to the sum total of weather conditions and variations over a large area for a long period of time.
Good, good.
And weather refers to the state of the atmosphere over a certain region for a short period of time.
2 points you have to remember when we talk about weather and climate. One, both are condition or stage of atmosphere. Both are condition of atmosphere. Then one for long time, one exists for long time, climate. Over a large area for a long period of time. It's climate. It's a condition of atmosphere or state of atmosphere. The next one, weather. Weather is a condition of atmosphere for a short period of time. Clear? These 2 points you
Yes,
have to
ma'am.
keep in your mind. Okay. It's a simple definition of what is weather and climate. Okay. Then, what about climate of India? What type of climate is there in India?
Monsoon climate.
Monsoon type of climate. It is because of the influence of monsoon wind, right? Because of India's location in the tropical region, most of the rain is brought by monsoon wind. In general, we say climate of India is monsoon type of climate, but still there are variation or regional variation, the climatic condition within the country, right? We explained with 2 examples, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh, 2
Yes,
regions
ma'am.
of a country, India. In both places, climate is different, right? One is very hot and the other one is very cold. This shows the regional variation in the climatic condition within a country. The next we discuss about factors which affect the climatic condition, which affect the climate of a place. Clear? I think we just started the portion. Let us see what are the factors affect the climate of a region, of a place. First, not of India. Okay, first you understand the meaning of all these points. After that, we will discuss the climatic factors affecting climate of India. Here we are discussing factors affecting climate of a place. First factor is latitude. What is latitude?
It is an imaginary line that runs from east to west.
Yes. It's an imaginary horizontal line on a globe or earth, right? Then, which is the longest latitude? Latitude. Equator is the longest latitude. It divides the earth into 2 equal halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, right? And beside this equator, there are 4 major latitudes are there. There are 4 major latitudes on our earth. What are they? 4 major
Tropic
latitudes.
of Capricorn.
Tropic of Capricorn.
Tropic of Cancer.
Tropic of Cancer.
Arctic and Antarctic Circle.
Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, right? Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. These are the 4 major latitudes on the earth. So, I hope this picture is clear, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then these are the four major equator, 0-degree equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, this is Arctic Circle, this is Antarctic Circle, right? These are the four other major latitudes on the Earth. Then, based on the amount of heat received from the sun, Earth is divided into four climatic zones. What are they? Four climatic zones of the Earth.
Frigid zone,
Zone,
temperate zone, torrid
yeah.
zone.
The torrid zone, the temperate zone, north temperate zone and south temperate zone, north frigid zone and south frigid zone. We can say three heat zones are there in the earth. Torrid zone, temperate zone and frigid zone. Right? You know, this region between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, we call it as torrid zone. This region receives more sunlight and heat. So this experience very hot. Torrid zone experience is very hot. And temperate zone, north temperate zone and south temperate zone receives slanting rays of the sun. So here regions in this area receives slanting rays of sun and experiences mild climate or moderate climate, neither too hot nor too cold. And frigid zone, both north frigid zone and south frigid zone, receives very less sunlight. So it experiences extreme cold. I hope all of you know this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
So this area receives more sunlight, and as we go away from the equatorial region or from the torrid zone, we feel very hot. Temperature will decrease. It affects the climate of regions located in temperate zone and frigid zone. Climate is different, right? Here in the torrid zone, climate is very hot. Temperate zone, climate is moderate. In frigid zone, climate is very cold, extreme cold. Clear? It's based on latitudinal position. It's based
Yes,
on
ma'am.
latitudes. Clear? First point is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
We are discussing about the factors which affect the climate of a place. So first factor is latitude. And second one is altitude. What is altitude?
Ma'am, height.
Height. Altitude is height. So here, from this picture, I think it's clear. When we measure height of a place, how we measure height of a place? Based on sea level, right? This is the sea level. From sea level, how much it is, right? What is the measurement of a place?
Yes, ma'am.
So here altitude means height. As we go higher and higher, see, as we go higher and higher, what will happen to temperature?
It decreases.
Temperature will decreases. Here 23.5 degree, then let's go up 17 degrees Celsius, then 10.5 degree. As we go higher and higher, density of atmosphere will decrease, presence of air will decrease. So temperature will be decreasing as we go higher and higher as we go up. That's why mountain areas are more cooler than plain. For example, we can say Ooty, Kerala, Munnar, Wayanad, all these places are cooler than plain area, than plain. Because all these are mountainous areas, mountain areas. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Second point,
Yes, ma'am.
how it affects. So altitude is one of the factors which affect the climate of a place. According to the height, there will be changes in the climate. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Still most of the videos are off. Aditya is Krishna. Tell me about altitude. How it is a factor? It's a factor which affects the climate of a place. How it affects climate of a place? Altitude. Where is Aditya? No, Rizwan. Rizwan,
Ma'am, can I say?
I'm always getting answer from only one student, only from Ashik. See, all some teachers are sitting in the classroom. They are supporting me because they are all getting answer from one student from 9A. Only Ashik is attending the class. Aman. Aman, how climate affect, how altitude affect climate of a place? What is the meaning of altitude?
Height.
Height. Then how it affect the climate of a place? From 5th standard onwards, you are in geography, you are studying this, right? In 6th, you have chapter latitudes and longitudes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Aman, who can answer? Raise your hand.
Ma'am, I'll say, ma'am.
As we
No.
go higher,
Yes, Aditya. Aditya, yes.
As a place's altitude gets higher, the place will get colder because the higher we go, uh, the less dense air becomes.
Air will
The
become
cold-
less dense, right?
less
Presence
dense.
of air will be very less as we go higher and higher. Density of air will decrease, thickness of air will decrease as we go higher and higher, as we go up. That's why we feel very cold when we visit mountain areas. Example, I told you, Munnar, Idiki, right? Munnar, it's very cold. Uti, very cold. Because all these are mountain areas. How latitude affect the climate of a place? Who can answer? How
Latitudes.
latitude affect? Yes, John Samuel. Yes, John.
Yes, ma'am.
How latitude affect climate of a place? We are discussing about the factors which affect climate of a place. Imaginary line. Imaginary horizontal line. The word imaginary is very important when you explain latitudes and longitudes, right? Actually, these lines are not there on the earth. For our convenience, we have drawn all these lines to locate places, right? So we have to see when we explain or when we define latitudes and longitude, we must say the word imaginary because it's very important. Now, all these lines are imaginary when our axis is an imaginary line. It's an imaginary line, okay. Then based on amount of heat received from the sun, we have 3 climatic zones, right? What are they?
frigid zone,
Frigid zone.
Temperate zone and torrid zone.
Vishnu, what are 3 climatic zones of the earth?
torrid zone, temperate zone, frigid zone.
The torrid zone, the temperate zone, and the frigid zone. And which zone receive more sunlight?
Torrid zone,
Why?
because it is near the equator.
Near the equator. Then what is special about equator? Near the equator is not, it's not a complete answer. Why torrid zone is very hot? Torrid means very hot. Why torrid zone is very hot?
The sunlight directly fall to the place.
Yes. Rays of the sun directly fall on Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn or on the equator, right? That's
Yes,
why
ma'am.
this region is very hot. This is the correct answer, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Near equator is okay, but answer is not complete. Then what do you have to say? Rays of the sun directly fall on equator or on the Tropic of Cancer. In the Tropic of Cancer, you can say like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Answer is complete. So this region receive more sunlight and heat. So reach all the places in this area. Torrid zone is experiences very hot climate. Clear? Then as we move away from the equator or from the torrid zone, next one is temperate zone. Temperate zone receives slanting rays of the sun. So temperate zone, all places in the temperate zone experiences moderate climate.
Yes, ma'am.
These two regions, north temperate zone and south temperate zone, receive slanting rays. So all the countries in this region experiences mild climate or moderate climate. I hope you know what is moderate climate.
Yes, ma'am.
Then as it move away from, when we reach frigid zone, it receives very less amount of sunlight, very less sunlight. Experiences extreme cold. So latitude is one of the factor which affect the climate of a place based on latitudes, right? Here we experience very hot, all the regions experience very hot, and this area less, means moderate climate, and here extreme cold. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
What about other children? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you must understand this concept, then only we can study about the climate of India. Till this, we didn't reach there, climate of India, how these factors affect climate of India. Okay. Then I hope altitude is also clear. Altitude is height. What is the meaning of altitude? Height.
Yes, ma'am.
How we measure height of a place? From the sea level. As we go higher and higher, thickness of air will be decreasing. So this higher areas experiences cold. That's why mountains are cooler than plain. Plain. This is a mountain peak, right? Experiences very cold than plain. Mountains are cooler than plain. Then next factor which affect the climate of a place is wind and pressure and wind system.
Yes, ma'am.
In the last class we have discussed about pressure system, right? Pressure and wind. What is
Yes,
the wind? What
It
is
is
wind? What is wind?
wind flows from low pressure area to high pressure area.
Wind flow from
High pressure to low
High
pressure.
pressure
high
area.
pressure to low pressure. Okay, wind always move from high pressure to low pressure area. High pressure to low pressure area. So wind is a movement of air from high pressure to low pressure area. And there is a wind which is called, okay, one of the major wind in our earth is called planetary wind. There is a wind in our earth, all over the earth. It's called planetary wind. Planetary wind. Just understand the name. It's a wind in our earth, planetary earth. Okay, I will explain this when we discuss this factor affect India. Next up.
Yes, ma'am.
So our earth is divided into different pressure belt. Also understand this point. Our earth is divided into different pressure belt. Different pressure belt. I will explain in detail about this pressure and wind system in the next class. This one. Just understand 2 points. There is a one wind in our earth, it is called planetary wind. And earth is divided into different pressure belt. Okay, I think you know the meaning of what is atmospheric pressure and What is wind? What is atmospheric pressure?
The pressure exerted by the atmosphere on the earth.
On the surface of the earth is called atmospheric pressure. Okay. The next factor which affect the climate of a place is distance from the sea. Distance from the sea. Okay. Dear children, as we all know, a place located near the sea, right? Near the sea or coastal area, there severity of temperature is very less. That means places near the sea experience moderate climate. Neither too hot nor too cold, moderate climate. Right? Places away from the sea experiences extreme climate. That means very hot during summer and very cold during winter. Clear? For example, we can say Kerala and Delhi. Kerala is a coastal region, a coastal plain. What about the climate of Kerala? Climate of Kerala is moderate climate.
It is moderate.
Moderate. What about the climate in Delhi? Very
It
hot
is
during
too hot.
summer and very cold during winter. Clear? This condition is called continentality. What is it? Continentality. Continentality means extreme weather condition. Very hot during summer and very cold during winter. This condition is called continentality. Always remember all the examples and it will be easy to connect with us. Example,
Yes,
Kerala and Delhi. Kerala is a coastal plain, right, near sea or ocean. So it experiences mild climate. Then Delhi is away from coastal area. So what will be the climate? It's very hot.
It will be too hot in summer season.
Extreme.
Very hot during summer and very cold during winter. This condition is called continentality. So distance from a sea affect the climate of a place. For place near to the sea, here the severity of temperature is very less. Experience moderate climate. Places far away from the sea experiences severe or extreme weather condition. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Next point, ocean currents. What is ocean currents? When we discuss the wind, we learned wind is a movement of air from high pressure to low pressure area. Okay, similarly, there is a movement in ocean water. Movement of ocean water is known as ocean currents. Movement of ocean water is known as ocean currents. Movement of ocean water from one place to another is called ocean currents. It is because of the temperature difference in temperature or density. Ocean currents mainly because of difference or temperature difference. Then when you look at a map, world map, okay, you can see 5 major oceans on it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hope all of you know the names of 5 major oceans. Okay.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
these oceans are connected because there is a connection between all these 5 major oceans, right? Because of the movement, because of ocean currents. Okay. Then when you have visited a coastal area, definitely you receive a lot of wind, right? A lot of sea breeze and humidity. Better we use the word breeze and humidity. Right? It is because of ocean currents. Okay. When the waves when the tides in the ocean constantly come to the land, constantly come to the shore, it brings a lot of sea breeze or wind. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
If this wind is very hot, we says warm ocean current. If the wind comes from the ocean, it's very cold, we say cold ocean current. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
When the wind comes from ocean or sea, if it is hot, we used to say warm ocean currents. If it is cold, we used to say cold ocean currents, right? When this hot wind move to other places, it can or it will increase the temperature of a place. When the ocean currents, it bring lot of wind or sea breeze, right? And it move to other places, land. If the ocean wind is hot, it make this place very hot. If the ocean wind is cold, it make this place very cold. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So ocean current is a one factor which affect climate of a place. If the wind come from Arabian Sea, just as an example, wind come from Arabian Sea is very cold, right? Suppose it reach to our place Kerala, that means this wind bring or it will decrease the temperature in Kerala.
Cold air.
Cold wind. If the wind is very hot, it make our place very hot. Clear? So ocean currents is one of the factor which affect the climate of a place. The next one, last feature is relief. What is relief? Relief features, you have learned many
Land,
relief.
soil.
Yes, land, soil. Here relief by relief, physical features, right? We have discussed physical features, mountains, plateaus and all. Actually,
Yes, ma'am.
this is one factor which affect the climate of a place. By relief, we mean plains, not plains, plateaus and
Mountains.
mountains. Okay. Actually, these are the physical barriers which affect the climate of a place. And it leads to, mountains.
Ma'am, it can block the rain coming.
Yeah, it can block the clouds and cause rain. It can block the wind and clouds and cause rain. And what is the name of this rain, Orographic precipitation. Orographic precipitation. Orographic precipitation. I'll show you a video of orographic precipitation. I think do you know what is orographic rain?
When a mountain blocks the wind or air, wind or clouds to form rain.
I'll show you a video. I hope you can hear the sound. Audible?
No, ma'am.
Very low.
No, ma'am. Can't hear.
Can you hear?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Could you hear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am, but the
ma'am.
sound was low.
Clear.
Sound too slow. You must know what it is. I'll share it again. Okay. Listen.
Relief or orographic rainfall.
Ma'am, now it's clear.
Okay.
Sometimes moisture-bearing winds are forced to rise because of the presence of a physical barrier, such as a mountain. Such winds expand and cool as they rise up the slope of the mountain or plateau, and on further cooling, form clouds. When saturated, these clouds give rain. This rain is called relief rain because it is caused by the relief feature coming in the way of the wind. The side of the relief feature that faces the moisture-bearing winds is called the windward side. This is the side that receives most of the rainfall. The other or opposite side is called the leeward side, which receives very little rainfall as the winds descend and get warm. This leeward side is also often called the rain shadow region. In India, the southwest monsoon winds are forced to rise along the windward side of the Western Ghats. So, the regions along the west coast of India receive heavy rainfall. The Deccan Plateau lies in the rain shadow or leeward side of the Western Ghats and is therefore a dry area.
Who's the sound? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Two relief features, windward and leeward. I think you know about it, right? You have
Yes, ma'am.
learned. Yes, one side receive more rainfall. It's called windward side, and leeward side receive very less rainfall, right? So that this area, this opposites of this is very dry region. Okay, Western Ghats receive more rainfall. Right? You can see thick forest areas in the Western Ghats, and the opposite side, it receives very less rainfall, so it is very dry. And for example, Deccan Plateau receive very less rainfall because of this orographic rain. These are the 5 factors, not 5, 6 factors which affect the climate of a place. Okay, all of you should be thorough with all these points. Latitudes, altitude, pressure and wind system, distance from the sea, ocean currents and relief. Clear?
Yes,
Read
ma'am.
the
ma'am.
textbook. A few explanations are there in the textbook. If you have any doubt, ask me in the next class.
Yes, ma'am.
Dear children,
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
told you to prepare for a class test. Ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll send the link in chat box. You do it. Only 5 minutes, only 4 minutes left. Okay. You can do the test and submit. Okay. I'll
Yes,
send the
ma'am.
link. 1 second.
God.
Sorry. Class. 1 second. I'll send you the link. Check your chat box.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, it's okay. Okay, one second. Yes, now it is it.
Yes, ma'am.
Only 2 minutes left. Okay, you can do your test and submit. I'll check the mark later. Let me take attendance. Adil Muhammad. Adil. Absent. Aditya.
Present, ma'am.
Yes. Aditya Krishna. Present. Afsana. What about Afsana? No. Aman Shakir.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Anchita. Anne Mary. Arjun.
Present.
Ashik. Present. Badra. Present. Emil. Fia. Fia Faris.
Present, ma'am.
Hadidi. Hadi. Present. Haya. Absent. Haynes Steve. Haynes Steve. Johan.
Present, ma'am.
Johan present. John Samuel present. Muhammad Rizwan. Lolita absent.
Ma'am of Medicine present.
Yes. Meghna.
Present, ma'am.
Melvin present. Muhammad Aman present. Nas. No. Nidipama.
Present, ma'am.
Nas present. Nidipama present. Nizia absent. Right. Surya Krishna Das. C.H. Surya.
Present, ma'am.
Hadide Shankar. Okay. Prajod. Present. Pratish. Rifa. Rifa is
Present, ma'am.
present. Rose be present. Sainaba present. Savio present. Vishnu VV present. Vishnu Priya present. Dear children, please check this. Adil is absent, right? Adil Muhammad, Afsana, Anchita, Anne Mary, Fia, not Fia,
Ma'am, I am
Hadid.
present.
Who?
Adil.
Adil is present. Hadidi. What about Hadidi? Haya. Absent. Haynes Steve. Absent. Loletta. Absent. Nisia. Absent. Okay, dear children, it's time to wind up the class. Complete your test and submit. I'll check your answer paper, answer sheet later. Thank you, dear children.